UFC 319 full card predictions with punches and profits. Your host Nick Collins. Let's get it. First one. First fight on the night, we have Leb Adiris taking on a Joseph Morales. Alright, so I'll tell you this with this first fight, right? Joseph Morales, he's 12-2. Now, he's already had his chance in the UFC. That's why he fights out of Team Alpha Male. He's 30 years old. He's going alright. He's on like a little. In the last 4 years, he's only had 3 fights, and he's taking on a guy that's been active. Okay, and he's 10-0, and he's fighting out of Kazakhstan. Now, Ali B. Adiris is gonna probably mop the floor with him because this is his chance. He hasn't had a chance in the UFC yet, and Joseph Morales is probably a sacrificial lamb in this, I'd say. So this is in the flyweight division. Wouldn't expect much of a finish, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? But Ali B. Adiris, I've got to win. 29-28 decision. Moving on up the card, we have Korean Silva taking on Diane Barboza. Korean Silva was supposed to take on an opponent in a different. She was supposed to take on a different opponent. JJ Eldridge, that's it. But I don't know, something happened. So Barboza's come in on short notice, and they've already fought before. And Barboza beat on decision. But the fact that Korean Silva has made more, I think, strides in her last bit of her career, I feel like Korean Silva can kind of keep it on feet. And I feel like Korean Silva can work her way to a good decision. So give me a Korean Silva on 29-28 decision. But, I wouldn't be surprised if Korean Silva actually finishes Diane Barboza in maybe even the second or third, because a Diane Barboza fades, she does fade over time in the later rounds. Anyway, moving on up the card, we have an Sultan Rizaboyev taking on a Brian Battle. This is a good one. This is a very good one because you have a guy in Brian Battle who's literally come in to lose weight. He took up MMA, I believe, but probably was a little bit into it. But that's what made him lose weight. He's on a 12-2 pro record, 12 wins, 2 losses. And the Sultan Rizaboyev, he's 36-9, 9 losses, 36 wins, and he's the underdog coming into this fight apparently. And he's more precise with his striking. Clearly, he's more easily with his power. He has more. It's more easily seen that he has more power than Brian Battle. I think Brian Battle's a little bit more scrappy, like an Nate Diaz more type style. Likes to get in the clinch, but Sultan Rizaboyev has got that wrestling in his back pocket. But I don't even think he will even get there, to be honest. I think Sultan Rizaboyev is going to put him away in the first 2 rounds. Give me an Sultan Rizaboyev first or second round KO, because he's too precise. And Brian Battle, I feel when he goes up against someone that's gonna meet him in the middle, that's got more power, more speed, it's no good. Give me an Sultan Rizaboyev by KO first or second round. Moving on up the card, we have Edison Barboza taking on a Jakar Close. Alright? Jakar Close, fighting out a MMA lab. So not a bad gym to fight out of. Edison Barboza, an absolute specimen of a person. Like, he's 39. I can't believe the way he like takes care of himself. Like, he's an absolute fucking weapon. Um, Although he did take a decision loss to Leroy Murphy a year ago, and he did get beaten up kind of on the feet. It looked kind of terrible. But Chicago is coming off the KO loss, flying knee to Joel Alvarez. I feel like Chicago can actually, I feel he can kind of he can wear on an Edison Barboza in this fight. That Chicago can lean on wrestling. Because the way you train, obviously Edison Barboza, obviously more of a striking heavy fighter. His body's conditioned more for like a like fast twitch muscle fibers. Chicago is more of like a chunky. I reckon he's gonna be. I reckon Chicago is gonna be grappling here, and I reckon an Edison Barboza is gonna lose on a decision. So I'm gonna say Chicago on a 29-28 decision. Moving on up the card, we have an Alexander Hernandez taking on Chase Hooper. The guy, Chase Hooper's been surging right now. He's really coming into his own. He's had a kid, so he's got like dad strength. You know what I mean? Alexander Hernandez has been kind of like not really looking well. Okay. So he's taken 2 wins and 2 losses in the last year and 10 months. It's not bad, but but Chase Hooper's been like surging. Really coming into his own. He's like he's kind of got that like he's getting down like he's getting into that mode of like gritting down his mouthpiece and going for it. And Alexander Hernandez just been on and off, I think, but Chase Hooper is, I don't know how many he's Alexander Hernandez will have more power here. And Chase Hooper, I feel maybe if he's stuck on the feet with an Alexander Hernandez, it can be pretty bad for him. But I reckon that Chase Hooper is probably going to get it to the ground. And even if he doesn't sub Alexander Hernandez, he can keep him there on the feet. But I was thinking Chase Hooper by late submission, like submission 2nd or 3rd round, because he's just too slick. And Alexander Hernandez is just going to be stuck on the feet with him because Chase Hooper is just going to keep marching forward, and he's going to be hitting him. I reckon Alexander Hernandez is going to engage in the clinch, engage in this with a Chase Hooper. 2nd or 3rd round submission for Chase Hooper, and I believe he chokes and Alexander Hernandez out. Or, gets the tap. Chase Hooper by submission. 2nd or 3rd round. Moving on up the card, we have Jessica Andrade taking on Lupita Godinez. Lupita Godinez, the one that was like about to she needed to take a shit in like the 2nd round or something in their last fight, which is pretty gnarly. I think like the 2nd round, after the 2nd round she said it or something. That's pretty that's insane. Jessica Entourage, I feel like Lupita Godinez with her like surging right now, like she's coming into her own kind of. 2 losses is not too bad to people that aren't like not bad. Mackenzie Dern and Verena Jondarova, they're not bad opposition, but We have Jessica Andrade, heavy hands. Lupita Godinez, who's probably out on the outside, like kind of using her boxing. I feel like her sister is a wrestler, you know. So I feel like Godinez can actually win a decision. I'm going Lupita Godinez decision win. Moving on up the card, we have a Gerald Mearshard taking on a Mikhail Olajaychik from Poland. So Olajaychik, he just doesn't like the ground, right? Gerald Mearshard, it's a bigger cage. Mikhail Olajaychik, him coming out of the fighting nerds, he can possibly be grinding out a way to like just keep it on the feet, and really like he could be just been training this for the past like however long, leading up to this fight, because you know like there's a primary thing to be doing, because you wouldn't want to like obviously be taken down by a GM3. You will get submitted, most likely. The guy's got the most submissions, or even like one of the most. Anyway, I'm feeling Mikhail Olajaychik. I don't know. I feel like Mikhail Olajaychik, if he keeps it on the feet, I feel like he can do that, but he's just gonna get. I'm going Mikhail Olajaychik. I'm going Mikhail Olajaychik just to win, by any means necessary. Moving on up the card, we have a King Green taking on a Diego Ferreira. King Green taking on a Diego Ferreira. King Green, he's not looking good. He got absolutely smoked by Ruffy by a spinning heel kick, KO. That was insane. That was insane. Clearly, I remember like easy cool. And then you got submitted by Paddy Pimblett. But on the opposite end, we have a Diego Ferreira, and he lost to Grant Dawson on a decision, but Bobby Green clipped Grant Dawson in the first round. Yeah, a year and 10 months ago. I feel a King Green can actually come out here and make it a fight. I'm going King Green, because Diego Ferreira, the only time he's good is when he kind of like snipes and like sits on the outside and picks his shots. King Green's going to be moving forward, and I reckon King Green can actually probably look good here. Kind of wearing on a Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira, yeah, it's hard because King Green, you can't be like it. He only 5 months. You got to like take a little bit of time off, man. You can't be taking those kind of like KO losses, and then coming back in 5 months. But I reckon King Green can. I reckon a King Green can grind out a decision win, 29-28 over a Diego Ferreira. Moving on up the card, we have a Tim Elliott taking on a Kaya Sakura. Tim Elliott, he's just the guy that's probably game enough to take the fight, because I still think there's people that know Kai's still dangerous, even though Pantoja fucking completely just ran over him in 3 rounds or whatever it was. No, yeah, 2 rounds. That's insane. Yeah, I feel like with Tim Elliott's head movement, he's dumb fucking sitting there like, you know, trying to get he's more of got like that taunting type style to him. I just feel like you can't be doing that to a Kai Asakura, but it's part of his style. It's part of his MO. So Kai's gonna end up finding it early here, and I feel like a Kai Asakura first round KO over Tim Elliott. It's gonna be a highlight reel for Kai Asakura. Moving on up the card, we have a Jared Cannonier taking on a Michael Venom Page. MVP, as they call him. A tall, lanky, fucking taekwondo artist that kind of sits and he's like he's a show fighter. Taking on a Jared Cannonier, the guy that was like, used to be like he used to be a heavyweight, now he's like a middleweight, and he's like fought in like all the classes, except for like flyweight and like featherweight and bantamweight and fucking all the low, but he's literally, from middleweight up, he's literally fought in all of them. And he's taken on a sniper in Michael Venom Page. I really feel like a Michael Venom Page is going to win. And it'll be a decision win because Jared Cannonier won't go away. I don't think a Michael Venom Page can find a KO. Jared Cannonier is training out of MMA Lab. I'd say they have some good sparring partners for this. So, seen as Sean O'Malley, good strikers come out of that gym. So, Michael Venom Page is similar to that. So, yeah. But I feel like a Michael Venom Page might be a little bit too much. For Jared Cannonier. And Michael Venom Page is gonna win a decision against the Jared Cannonier here. And that's my prediction. Moving on up the card, we have a Jeff Neal taking on a Carlos Prates. A Carlos Prates, it's too much with his knees, elbows, his straights, his sniper type style, his chin. He's got too many weapons for a Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal is literally like upright standing with his tucked in elbows, boxing type raw style. A Carlos Prates got way too many weapons here. He's gonna fuck up a Jeff Neal, man. Carlos Prates is gonna beat up a Jeff Neal, with like proper. It's gonna be a Carlos Prates first or second round KO over Jeff Neal. Moving on to the co-main event. We have Lerone Murphy taking on Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico. Aaron Pico coming out of Bellator, 13-4, taking on a 16-0 Lerone Murphy. A 16-0 Lerone Murphy taking on a 13-4 Aaron Pico. And he's 34, Lerone Murphy. Give me Lerone Murphy. And they're saying, if it's a 3-rounder, Lerone Murphy on decision. It's going to be a hard fight. It's for both of them. I think they're going to be well matched. I don't know. Their styles are well matched. I feel like it's going to be some good scrambles. There's going to be some good on the feet striking exchanges. It's going to be fun to watch. And I think Lerone Murphy will just have that edge and win a decision over Aaron Pico. Moving to the main event, we have a Dracus Duplessis taking on a Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat is an absolute phenom, and he's 14-0, taking on a 23-2 DDP. Although, so 14-0, so, but you can't deny he's just got that weird, like, Tard strength. He's got that strength in him. He's got that weird. If he gets his hands on you, it's weird, and like, I feel like it's still gonna be like that against the DDP. I feel like Khamzat Chimaev's like strength, like his just weird like Tard strength, will show against the DDP still, even though DDP's like muscle bound, because it's like as if Khamzat, I feel like if you actually think about it scientifically, DDP has more muscle on, like, it looks like he's more built, which would require more oxygen, right? For him to keep. Yes, he got his nose fixed, and yes, he's got really good cardio, but I feel like in the long run, I don't know, I feel like a Khamzat Chimaev would even show, he wouldn't even need it. I don't think in this fight that's going to be needed. I think this fight's going to end in 2 rounds. And I feel like Khamzat Chimaev is going to submit a DDP, possibly in rounds 2 or 3. It's going to be in the first 3. It's not going to go 3 rounds. It's not going 3 rounds. Khamzat Chimaev is going to put on a pace. DDP is going to have to fight at this pace, and people are going to say after the fight that, oh, DDP didn't look the same. He looked like he had, like, where was the old DDP? Where was his cardio? It's not this. It's just he had to fight at Khamzat Chimaev's cardio. Like, I feel like his, like, that's what I don't see DDP. I don't see DDP winning the grappling exchanges, because they're gonna start grappling easily in the first 2 rounds, easily. But Khamzat Chimaev is going to submit DDP in the main event. This was UFC 319 full card predictions with your host Nick Collins. Punches and Profits. I'm out. Peace.